oil exporting nations are suffering right now, and we see in particular Saudi Arabia making the news. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we will talk about Saudi Arabia not having $750 billion of US Treasuries. So there was a little bit of, I wouldn't say a lie in the media, but it was a little misconstrued what exactly is going on. So let's clarify that today. First, this right here, connecting in with the video that I did yesterday. Deutsche Bank has agreed to settle U.S. litigation over allegations it illegally conspired with the Bank of Nova Scotia and HSBC to fix silver prices at the expense of investors. That's right. They admit. So we have these three banks here coming together and deciding what the price of silver will be. And what do? They fine them. They give them a slap on the wrist, and they're back at it yet again. Terms were not disclosed, but the accord will include a monetary payment by the German bank. That's right. They all came together to decide what should we do with silver today. And every day they'd have this meeting deciding what it should be. It's no different than all of the other rigging that has been going on. Everything in the financial markets are rigged. And here's just one example of an admission to that guilt. But when you talk about it to those in the financial industry, it really gets ignored. And this is sad, because the truth is that it's not hiding anymore. It's in the open, but it's still being sort of pushed under the rug. All right, let's get into this right here out of Bloomberg. The Treasury Department released a breakdown of Saudi Arabia's holdings of U.S. debt after keeping the figures secret for more than 4 decades. So, how much do they own? Well, the stockpile of the world's biggest oil exporter stood at $117 billion as of March. So what's going on here? They said that they would sell, or at least it seemed like it in the media, that they would sell $750 billion of U.S. Treasuries. But simply looking at the records indicates that it's not even close. China has 1.3 trillion and Japan has 1.1 trillion. So not even close. Yes, they're in third place, but it's a far jump in between that. So we look at the chart on the next page here, and the one after this as well. But what we're looking at in this New York Times article is the Saudi foreign minister delivering the kingdom's message personally last month during his trip to Washington, telling lawmakers that Saudi Arabia would be forced to sell, and this is the actual quote here, sell up to $750 billion in Treasury securities and other assets in the United States before they could be in danger of being frozen by American courts. So remember that it's $100 billion approximately of Treasury securities, and then there's these other assets. Now, a quick search online, I was unable to find that, but perhaps that information is public. What exactly they do own? Can they really sell it just like that? Do they own stock? Do they own shares of the Federal Reserve, perhaps? Of course, we're not allowed to talk about that. But anyway, I just want to be explicit here and know that Treasury securities perhaps could be sold overnight, but some of these other assets may not be able to do so. Now, I don't necessarily think they're going to sell all of their treasuries anyway, but just for those who have been thinking about this, here's some good information. Then we look at the chart here I was talking about. Plummeting oil prices squeeze Saudi's FX reserve. So, you have to make up for the shortfalls. That's just the way that these economies work. And this is what they do. They sell. When times get tough, they sell. And you can see that during the financial crisis, there's a little dip. And in recent times, they have been selling off as well. And you could see how it tracks the performance of oil. No doubt, when you have an oil exporting nation, that's a very, very important indicator to look at. All right, so just a couple quick things I wanted to get to. Pizza Hut adding pepper robots to restaurants in Asia. So here we have yet again robotics replacing humans, and it may be a basic task to do. However, that was an individual's job before, now being replaced by robotics and automation. Sure, nobody really wants to do this job necessarily, and other jobs that are being replaced by robots and automation, but it's providing a job. In a way, if you think about it, jobs are being provided to by individuals who have to service these robots, but the trend is going in the way that the robots are built by other robots and perhaps serviced by other robots. So ultimately, this is not a good thing for the future of regrowth or the rebirth of any nation. This right here pissed me off really bad. All right, let's just read it. I'm not gonna try not to react to it. Vaccine exemptions for kids would require Ontario parents to first take an educational class. New legislation would also make it easier to keep children's immunization records up to date. Well, let me just step back for a moment here. If you're a parent who doesn't want to vaccinate your child, you have to go to a class where they're going to submit their propaganda to you. However, why is there no propaganda class for those who are vaccinating their children to talk about the dangers, potential dangers, associated with these inoculations? Where are the warnings? Where are the red flags? None. And what happens when the children are hurt or maimed by these? Nobody will admit fault. That's all I can say. And this is just last but not least here. One of the subscribers sent this in to me and I thought it was really good and I wanted to post it up here on this video. Check it out if you have time. I couldn't post it on my own YouTube channel because it contains images from videos. So anyway, regardless, it's basically about all of the false promises that we've seen, and he sort of makes it really funny. So it's only 2 minutes long. Highly recommend checking it out. The link will be in the description of this video. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. And last but not least, if you found the video informative, I know you will find my book, The Money GPS, even more informative. Head over to Amazon and you can actually flip through the book for yourself and see if you like it. Take care.